I was blessed enough to be in Melvin's company to the point where whenever I came to New York after I met him, the first time, like physically, he was like, yo, whenever you in town, hit me, come through.
How'd that connect happen?
I did that because the same way I was crazy enough to hit Dr. West up, I've always had this thing of, yo man, just throw a rock at the moon and see if you hit the motherfucker. Why not just reach out to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Find their phone number if you can and just call that shit. Find their email if you can and send something to say, hey man, I'm inspired by what you do. I want to be like you in my own way. You know what I'm saying? Let me come sit under you if I can. Some people don't give a shit about that when it comes to elders. But I was like, yo, this the dude that did Sweetback's badass song when I finally learned about who Melvin was.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, ain't no Spike Lee, ain't no John Singleton, ain't none of this shit.
Ain't none of that.
Him. No Tyler Perry, nothing without Melvin breaking the motherfucking door down first. So I reached out to him one day. I was like around the time when I was just starting sampling, I found some of his movies and I cut up some of the music that he composed. And
I didn't know that he composed music.
yes, Melvin did a bunch of things, man. He's an author, a composer, a playwright, worked on Wall Street. Melvin did everything. But he made the music for most of his movies. Like he would sit with somebody and like, look, this is the basic sketch, and get a, you know, someone who had more skill maybe at the instrument to say, all right, let me add these embellishments. But yeah, that was Melvin's, you know, all of that was Melvin. So I reached out to him like, yo, I sampled some of your stuff, man. I want to let you hear it. Well, send it to me. This was at the time of, cassette tapes were still around. CDs and DVDs was like getting ready to, we were bleeding into the MP3 period. But we still had some of that old tech. So it's like, yo, man, I got to get with my man because he got the CD burner and that might take it. And he stopped me. He said, yo, you got a tape deck? I said, yeah. And he said, then put the fucking shit on tape. That was our first conversation ever on the phone. Like this, like, oh shit. And I was like, all right. And I took that as metaphor for just do the shit, get it done. Fuck all that. Nah, man, well, we ain't got the budget and they got the better cameras. Yo, fuck that. We dope. We gonna put this shit out.
Put it on tape.
So ever since that time, that was maybe like 2000, sometime between 2006 and 8 when I first made contact with him. And then maybe right about like 2010 when we first was doing the first Corner of West Area album, I finally went and met him physically. And then from that point, literally to when he passed away.
Was it a couple of years ago?
Last year, I believe, is when Melvin went to Ja. But from 2008 up until that point, anytime I was in New York City, I was at Melvin's crib at some point.